Welcome everybody, welcome to this webinar. And this is Vladica Djordjevic, and I think this is my second webinar about Let Your Strengths Lead the Way. I created one together with my colleague. You will find it on my YouTube channel. Yeah, this is I'm here in a new different role. It's like I'm putting a hat on that is new. So stay and get the inspiration and ask what is the take here? What can I take with me from this webinar? And yeah, let's start. I'm going to show a PowerPoint presentation and so that you can see. Um, what I want to achieve, what my goal is with this. And if you have any questions, put them in the chat or just send me questions after this class. So let me start with the question. I'm always asking questions, but one of the questions is, how many times have you had a clear intention with something? You get up in the morning and you know what you are going to do, and you say to yourself, today I will do this in this way. And then your behavior takes you to a completely different direction. And at the end of the day, you are asking yourself, what happened? Why am I not achieving what I want, even though I know exactly what I want? So, if this sounds familiar to you, you are not alone here. Millions of people have this incongruence, intention, behavior, and result. For all of you that are listening to this for the first time, welcome. My name is Vladica Djordjevic, and I know that many of you know me as an Access Consciousness facilitator, but I also have this other part, this scientific part. And I'm using this tool, which is called LIFO, in my coaching programs. I have my own personalized coaching program called You Are the Power. You are the power with your body. You are the power in your relationships. You are the power with money. And you are the power in your business. And I'm also using this instrument when I am in big organizations where I work with teams to improve communication or to just create an awareness about behavior and presence and what and how can they use their strengths to their advantage and to get better results and to improve actually productivity. And I love this tool. I love it so much. So I've been using it for 6 years. And from September and onwards, I will also be able to certify you as a LIFO practitioner so that you can use this tool in your business. If you are a human resource manager, or you are a coach, or you are a facilitator, yeah, or you can just use it. You can become a practitioner and you will find out later what you want to do with it. This is how I started many, many years ago. So, LIFO was originally developed by Dr. Stuart Atkins, and today it is owned by Beacon Global in Japan. They hold the global rights for this methodology, and it is actually used worldwide in, I think, 20,000 organizations, and has helped millions of people to collaborate better, to communicate faster and with a better connection, and with actually more ease, and to receive measurable results. And Dr. Stuart Atkins, created life orientation theory a long time ago. It's actually 1967, I think. Yeah. And it is very, very interesting. So I hope you will find it interesting too. So why LIFO now? Why is it that I want to use LIFO so much now in both organizations and in my coaching programs even more? Because the world is really constantly changing, and we are increasingly called to lead ourselves, to lead teams, to step into our power, to step into our capacities, to be maybe entrepreneurs, to work in education or in coaching, or just for our own sake, for personal development, to become better, to understand ourselves better, and first of all, to understand the people we interact with. And many times, I don't know about you, I'm asking myself every day, I want to know myself better, but I also want to understand other people better. And I also want to know how can I stay authentic and at the same time strong? How can I stay in my power? And I'm not talking about power like dominating or controlling anyone. I'm talking about power and potency that is in us, where we access the source of our being. Because behavior is something that we have learned. We have programmed ourselves to behave in a certain way. Many times we want to fit, we want to please, we want to, there are many effects of why we are choosing a behavior. And I want to ask you, I would love you to ask yourself how your values and your sense of purpose can be the foundation of your success instead of limitation. Many times our behavior can be a limitation for us. And this is where LIFO comes in, LIFO orientations. It gives us a pragmatic and measurable answer. It shows us how we can use our natural strengths in both favorable and unfavorable conditions. And what exactly do we need to adjust in order to achieve the results that we want? So by this, LIFO is not a box. It's not putting you in any category. It's not a personality. It's not a typology. It is actually an exploration. It is a discovery. When you naturally put first what you naturally put first, and when things are going well for you, and what is changing in your life when you are under pressure, or when you have deadlines to achieve, when there is uncertainty or you have a conflict. So when you become aware of how and when you use your strengths in favorable, unfavorable condition, your communication becomes easier. You will become much softer. Your body will feel the tension that you have, and it will disappear. Your body will feel calmer, and actually your goals will become much more reachable and clear. There is a quote that they use in LIFO. I love it so much. And they say, we see different mountains and we see different rivers because we live in different places. But we feel the same wind and we see the same moon and we are covered by the same sky. So the name of a game is actually a book that Dr. Stuart Atkins wrote. Um, and it is about the 4 orientations that I educate and teach in classes and coach you with. And I will talk more about that now, but let me just share my screen for a second. Let me see if I can do that. Just a second, so that you can follow this presentation and you can see this is how it looks like when you are attending my coaching programs, or when you are inviting me to your company to facilitate the workshop or even coach people. Let me see. I think you can see it here. And let's go to the beginning of the presentation. Oh my God, this is like I changed this to Serbian. Why did I do that? That's not good. Sorry, everyone. Just a second. Let me see if I can find the English version, because I did this presentation in Serbian language also. As I am now becoming a master trainer, I would love to share this with the world. And it is actually translated now into Serbian language and Slovenian. So if you would love to have me in your country, I'm happy to come and play with you. This is the English version. Can you see it? Yes? Super. Okay, so our orientations to life are the directions we take through life, our game plan of values, goals, strengths. This plan determines how we approach our work and how we treat others. It influences what we think, what we say, what we do, and write. So the method, life orientation method, gives us tools to understand our priorities and manage our strengths. It enables us to be more effective in any of the 3 basic human situations. Number 1 is your individuality and your personal productivity. 2 is you with another key person, your interpersonal communication. And 3, it's team building. And here we have this beautiful picture and also architecture in Italy, in Vicenza, created by Andrea Palladio. And what do we want to show us with this? Sorry, that life starts with us in the center of things. It is as if we are born in the center of a room with 4 walls. There is a window on each wall looking out to the world. Because of our life experiences and what has worked for us, most of us look at the world through 1 or 2 windows of our choice. We may learn to look through the window in front of us and the right of us. Someone else may look at the world from the windows to our left and behind us. So when we try to describe the world to each other, it appears as if we are talking about 2 different worlds. It is really the same world out there, but we are only describing it from our familiar perspective. our preferred orientation that has been reinforced through trial and error, success and failure. Difficulty between us can start when we try to work or live together. If your views of the world come from the opposite windows, trouble happens. When my way of looking at the world is from the window in front of me and your way of looking at the world is from the window behind me, I may have occasionally looked out that window, but it's been infrequent and I don't remember how things are from there. I choose out of that window, but it's been infrequent. And I don't remember how things are from there. I choose to remember my comforting viewpoint, my own convenient perspective. But that is not enough. We need total perspective. No person's judgment is from only one or two windows. We are missing important knowledge. Then we do not have everything available to bring up to a problem or a decision affecting our lives and each other. We may need people who are different from us. They have different perspectives and different strengths. We need them by having them physically present or by learning to ask the unique questions they would ask if they were with us. The questions then come from the orientation to life. This writing broadens our awareness of a total world outside our room, the total perspective and the total power available through different game plan. We can go beyond our present state of working and loving from limited information we get from our selected view. So we use La Rotunda as a metaphor. Just as La Rotunda has 4 identical entrances and you can enter from any side and reach the same center, so in life we are looking and act from 4 perspectives to 4 LIFO orientations. There is no right, there is no wrong side. Each entrance leads us to the core, but from different viewpoint and different experience. So the Italian architect designed and built La Rotonda. He solved the problem of a total perspective with 360 degrees view. The building stands on a hill overlooking a valley. Palladio achieved complete perspective by taking up 4 classical Greek temples to each other and uniting them with the dome. Inside is a large, high circular hall, a rotunda. And on the outside, there are 4 fronts, 4 porticos with columns and steps facing in 4 directions. And from each portico, there is a total and commanding view of the valley below. La Rotunda is oriented north, south, east, and west. We as people, however, are oriented in every direction. Our orientation to life directs us down on one path of our rotunda along a certain life plan. First, we need to capitalize on the strengths and uniqueness of our path, and we also need to understand others who may have chosen a path down another side of a valley. Makes sense, right? So by understanding our 4 orientations, we can live better, we can love better, and the 4 orientations are supporting giving, controlling taking, conserving holding, adapting dealing, and there are 2 conditions, favorable and unfavorable. And there are 3 strategies. Actually, there are 6, but I'm just presenting you here to 3, which are that you acknowledge how you behave and that this is true for you. And then you work with moderating and extending. And this is what we do in in teams, with teams in a company, or I work with you and give you the tools in my coaching so that you can understand yourself better and achieve better results. And it is really important to understand each one of them because they are at the center of things and contain the basic life plan by which we function. If we want to better understand how these plans intertwine within us and between us and others, we need to highlight them along with our goals and our strengths. If you look, when we look at the behavior from a qualitative point of view, a judgment is there of good or bad, right and wrong. In LIFO theory, we do not explore your behavior like that. There is no judgment. We just want to say that you are different. And you are not better, you are not worse, you are just different. And there is a description actually what is in depth about supporting giving, controlling taking, the language that you use, but I am not going to talk about that in this session. This is something that we talk about in our classes. But Dr. Stuart Atkins used to say that we are like a kaleidoscope with twists and turns of patterns, shapes, and colors. Stop the kaleidoscope and you see one pattern. Turn it on and another appears. And this is the dynamics of human behavior. Human behavior is dynamic, but our actions have structure and performers' patterns. So I would like you to think of yourself when you look at this. Think of yourself as a blend of all of this, of all the four orientations. You are both and either or. And most of us prefer one of those orientation much more, and others less. So please do not label yourself like I'm a supporter giver or I'm a controlling taker or a conserving holder or adapting dealing, because this is not what you are. Um, so let me explain them a little bit. I'm going to let me explain them a little bit so you actually have an understanding of and maybe you can recognize yourself. Just a second, sorry. So, for example, there are familiar sayings about supporting giving. Uh, People who have this behavior, their communication style is, well, all people are created equal. Honesty is the best policy. If it's worth doing it at all, it's worth doing it. Justice will prevail. Let your conscience be your guide. My word is my bond. Passionate pursuit of perfection. Maybe you will recognize yourself here. And then you have the controlling taking. There, the way you could describe their orientation and how they orient themselves is actions speak louder than words. All or nothing. I recognize myself a lot in this. um, um, it's important that everything is right. Opportunity, everything is about possibilities. Opportunity just knocks once. Time is money, sink or swim. So maybe you recognize yourself here a little bit. And then we have a conserving holding, the analytical behavior. Take it easy. Don't rush. It is better to be safe than sorry. Look before you leap. Still waters run deep. Think now, act later. And we have a last one, adapting dealing. Very enthusiastic, inclusive, easy come, easy go, be all things to all people, better bend than break. Every cloud has a silver, everything is sunshine, fun, and so on. What will be, will be. Allowance, big allowance. Do you recognize yourself here? So, what is happening actually to your strengths? Let's say that your strength is supporting giving, and what is happening when we overuse that? When you use a strength too much, the less effective it becomes. When you overuse it, it's simply too much of a good thing, you could say. Strengths are productive, overuses are counterproductive. So let's say that you love your behavior to support others, you love quality. It can end up with too much effort, too much giving, and people do not appreciate you. And then you end up with the disappointment and you say to yourself, I'm giving so much and they are not appreciating me. Let's say that one of your strengths is controlling taking, and you're taking risks, you are an overachiever, a person. What is happening when you are overusing that? You can end up in a conflict, that you fight, you are becoming too aggressive, things are going too fast, and so on. And people can maybe perceive you as being too dominant and too controlling. And what is happening with the conserving holding as a strength? When it can be that, you become too slow or too controlling. And then you have the adapting dealing. Yeah, too flexible, too often giving in and just desiring that everybody in the team feels good about themselves, feels good about the company. So overuse of your strength can happen in all situations, in both favorable situation and unfavorable situation. In favorable condition, we overuse it because we enjoy our strengths. In unfavorable condition, we overuse to reduce stress or unhealthy conflict. So it is actually really important to understand this, and it is important to understand so that it can help yourself, and you can help yourself with this to distinguish between your true strength and the social expectations. And it also teaches us to remain authentic and effective without compromising. So this is like an inspiration and a short introduction so that you can get a sense of what LIFO is. These are the windows, and the philosophy of supporting giving is, if I prove my worth by working hard and pursuing excellence, the good things in life will come to me. And then your goals are to be helpful, to prove your worth, and your strengths are modest, receptive, helpful, responsible, loyal, trusting, seeks excellence. If controlling taking behavior is if I can get results by being competent and seizing opportunity, the good things in life will come to me. And your goals will become to get results, to be competent. And this is where your strengths kick in, that you are using too much, maybe sometimes, of your competitive strength and your risk taking, as I mentioned, and everything is urgent. And the conserving holding philosophy is if I think before I act and make the most of what I got, I can build up my supply of good things in life. So go slow, be sure, analytical, practical, methodical. And we have adapting dealing. If I please other people and feel their needs first, then I can get the good things in life that I wanted all along. Know people, getting along with people, empathetic. And you can, of course, use your special mix of strengths. When you become aware of them, you can use them, and you can use them in your communication styles, in conflict resolutions, and so on. So in communication and feedback, people receive information in different ways. If you always speak in your style, misunderstandings can happen. But if you adjust to the other person's preferred style, when you learn all of this, how you can use LIFO in practice, they will listen, they will feel understood, they will listen better, and you will connect. In conflicts usually arise. Why does conflict arise? Because something in the other person's styles or values feel threatened. But with LIFO, we can identify that and we can address it directly. So, for example, someone who values harmony, they will most probably get upset if the atmosphere is ruined, while someone who values result become frustrated if a decision takes too long. So that you can understand how this works. We can use LIFO in team leadership. A team goes through different phases: idea generation, planning, execution, and follow up. And each style has its strengths in different phases. So, as a leader, if you make sure that everyone contributes their strengths at the right time, you will achieve better results and keep your team motivated. And then, how can you use them in delegation? Like, not everyone enjoys the same type of tasks. And if you delegate to someone that doesn't enjoy that, well, the result will be thereafter. So the analytical prefer clear processes. The result-oriented wants challenges and quick decisions. The relational wants to work with people, and the adaptive wants to create flow and collaboration. So if you match task to the person's styles, the work will become much more effective and much more enjoyable. You can use this in sales and client relationship. Client doesn't just buy a product from you, they buy your trust, right? They buy a relationship. And when you meet the client in their language, in their way of seeing things, this process becomes faster and the relationship grows stronger. So, if you invite me to your company, or if you attend one of my LIFO workshops or programs, what is it that you are going to receive here? You are going to receive the recognition of your situational style, of your dominant style. You will understand and you get the explanation of favorable and unfavorable. You will get the map of the adjustments, micro adjustments, what exactly to adapt so that you can get the desired effect. And you will get tools, tons of tools for leadership, for coaching, for human resource, or for just conflict resolution. So the next step in this, if you would like to know more, is you can have a coaching session with me. And before we go into a session, you will get the LIFO questionnaire, which takes you 10 to 15 minutes to answer. And you will get an individual feedback. It takes around 1 hour. Or you can invite me for a teamwork workshop. And you can see how you communicate with each other in action, actually. And from September, end of September, I'm opening up for LIFO Practitioner Certificate Program for coaches, for trainers, for leaders, for human resource. And when you do this program with me, you will receive a clear structure, materials, and a license to use this methodology. So, let me just stop sharing my screen. I hope that you enjoyed this presentation. It was actually a pleasure to do it in English and to do it like this online. Yeah, this is it actually. It's not about becoming someone else. It's getting more of you and becoming you, understanding you and appreciating you, and knowing that there is nothing right and wrong about this, about you. There is helping you to get out of judgment. When you understand your behavior, your styles, the way that you have programmed yourself maybe to fit or in, and when you understand what triggers you, what are your blind spots, what is getting into your way, what are you holding on to, then life actually becomes much easier. When you get this full spectrum of all your strengths, and you can by choice make a choice of which strength am I going to use right now in this situation, and how can I have more fun in life, and yeah, how can I have more fun? How can I have more fun? That's a question that I ask myself every day, so that you can actually be yourself. So ask yourself, what if you can do a conscious choice and you could actually choose which strength you are using in every situation and in every interaction with people? And you, in this way, when you become aware, you will get out from your reactions. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this. That was it. You can please send me an email, info@vladicadjordjevic.com, if you are interested to know more, or just check on my website, www.vladicadjordjevic.com. And let's stay in touch. I would love to hear from you, and I would love to know if this is, we have Bernadette here say, yeah, adapting dealing is me. Yeah, and how is that working for you? What if you can use your other strengths to your advantage, and then the situation will change around you? Once again, thank you so much, everyone, and see you. There is a workshop coming up in September on my website. I'm actually going to cancel that workshop, and I am going to postpone it to October because it gives me much more space. But before that, maybe you would like to try a private session. Just let me know. Have a good day, have a good evening, have a good morning, wherever you are in the world and you are listening to this webinar later on. Thank you, everyone, and bye for now. Bye bye.